right, good morning. I'm Junior from Here For You Life Coaching, and we're going to discuss this today. So, we want to talk about how you can integrate, okay, emotion and intention to create manifestation. It happens through your subconscious, okay? So, the esoteric explanation, okay, or the inner meanings of intention and emotion, okay? And we see this happening in the Gospel of Thomas. So a lot of these things they took out of the modern Bible, okay? They took these things out. The Gospel of Thomas, you're not going to find that gospel in the, let's call it, edited version of the Bible, okay? But it says that when you make the two one, okay, you will become sons of man. And when you say, mountain, move away, it will move away. Now, what are they talking about? In the new version, right? You have if you have the faith of a mustard seed, right? You can move mountains and stuff like that. So you hear these things. You hear these things in sayings, and people casually say these things. Good morning, Jay. But where does this come from? Well, in the Gospel of Thomas, they talk about it this way: when you marry intention and emotion, you create manifestation. Okay? So we talked about prayer and the difference between prayer and emotion, and prayer involving separation. Why is it separation? Well, it's separation because it implies that God is outside somewhere, up there somewhere, out there somewhere. There is no out there. There is only in here. Everything out here is nature, and things from someone else is in here. That's all that's out here. Okay? So now when we take a look at what does it take to manifest your goals? What does it take to bring you the things you want? And can you do it within this system? Thank you, guys. And can you do it within this system? Okay? So in the Bible, right, the King James Version, okay, which does not include the Gospel of Thomas, right? In the King James Version, you hear Jesus saying that the kingdom is within, okay? But what is the esoteric meaning of this marrying intention with emotion? Because everything you do is from within. So when you manifest, it's coming from within. So you have the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. The superconscious being consciousness, or God, or universe, however you want to say, or source, however you want to say it, right? But inner integration of emotion and intention create manifestation. Why? Well, because your subconscious responds to energy. Let's call it emotion. Okay, so emotion and energy are almost synonymous, almost. So some people, some of my clients, they tell me, well, I don't know, if I don't believe this thing yet, if I don't believe what I'm saying yet, like I have this, or I'm so grateful for this, or that kind of thing, and I don't have it yet, it's very difficult for me to do this, to fake it till you make it, to pretend, and then, use my imagination first, right? But there's a reason why Einstein said education will get you from A to B, and imagination will take you everywhere. Okay, and this is because of that education process that we discussed, taking you from here and then pushing it like this and going, okay, this is you. This is the carpenter. This is the nurse. This is the doctor. This is the, like that. But this is what it takes. You have to become this much to be the pharmacist, this much to be the dentist, this much to be the doctor, that kind of thing. So when we look at esoteric meanings of the insight in us and manifestation and bringing things to us, can you just speak it? Yeah. Can you just write it? Yeah. But it happens in your subconscious. It's not magic. It's not like it just appears. Okay, everything comes from God to us through others. And this is why when you're on the path of something, you just so happens you meet somebody. Oh, this is the right guy. Like, I was planning on doing this thing, and this guy does this thing, and then I met this guy, and wow, what a coincidence. But when you use emotion with intention, energy, okay, speaking it with feeling, speaking it with energy, it's almost as good as feeling. Okay. So I teach 3 year olds, and I have, from time to time, I encounter 3 year olds. They don't understand anything. If you try to reason with a 3 year old, good luck. But they do understand a few things. They understand energy. If you tell a 3 year old, give me more energy, they'll give you more energy. They know what to do. So, in the process of teaching 3 year olds, right, it kind of, light bulb went on like, okay, let's teach everybody like this. So, when you use energy and you speak something with energy into your subconscious, it makes an imprint in your subconscious. It's almost the same principle as, when trauma happens. So, trauma is a significant event that sticks out that was negative. Okay, so that's the definition of trauma. Now, people that, let's say you want to manifest money or an opportunity or something, and maybe you're not feeling it when you speak it out loud, okay, because you have to write it. So, you write it down. I am so happy and grateful now that I have $100 extra this month. Thank you. So you're told that you have to feel this. You have to speak it with feeling. No, you don't have $100, right? And you go, wow, how can I act as if? How can I feel like I already have the $100 to bring the $100? How does that happen? Well, that happens in your subconscious. So if you can't imagine the feeling, use energy. Okay, so when you read it strongly with energy. That makes an imprint in your subconscious. Okay, now it's not the same, it's not exactly the same, but for people that can't really wrap their mind around, okay, I need to read this with feeling, okay, use energy. Energy and feeling are almost synonymous because you can have negative energy, okay, and you can have positive energy. And the negative energy is the energy without love. Or let's say, you know, angry energy or, the negative emotions, okay? But it's those emotions, okay, in the absence of love energy. No, this is not about judgment. This is not about saying that you have to be a good person. This is not about that. Okay? Because you can be a bad person and manifest all kinds of stuff. Okay? So bad people get rich, good people get rich, okay? Or get stuff. It doesn't have to be money. Okay? So you manifest whether you want to or not. Everything in your life you've manifested. Look around you. Everything you have, everything that you've experienced, all of your friends, you've manifested all of that. So some people have more of a priority, excuse me, that leans to friends. Okay, maybe they're not interested so much in money, right? But maybe they have a whole bunch of quality friends, like good friends. And maybe they're kind of lacking on the financial side. So now they're trying to manifest the money. Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization will fix it. How does it do that? Well, whatever becomes your focus, whatever you focus on intensifies. Let's say it another way. Whatever you focus on begins to show itself in your life. It begins to show itself. Okay? First, it starts with a thought. There has to be an idea. Okay? That's the first thing. You get the idea. oh, I want, you know, I want a bicycle. Okay, there's your idea. Now, when you think it enough, your subconscious goes, oh, okay, we're doing bicycle. And now the desire bicycle thing is in your subconscious. Now your subconscious looks for ways to make it happen. It looks for avenues. It looks for confirmations of it. The superconscious looks what's in the subconscious and goes, oh, okay, that's what you want. And it assists you. The superconscious is what we're all plugged into, consciousness. So this is why when you think about somebody, like one of your besties, and you're thinking about them, thinking about them, thinking about them, right? And all of a sudden you run into them in the market, in the store, at the mall. Okay? And you go, wow, I was just thinking about you. And they pop up. So quantum physics is telling us a lot about these so-called phenomena.